question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow?
I don't know, but I feel the importance will lie in the method. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute, after awakening, even Still a little...
No! Paimon's got a brain! But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit...
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the element, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Fascinating. And this floating child...
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap? And another thing, it's Paimon!
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick. Or cause the water... No, that...
Hey! How would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your... Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in the research, it seems that only Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them.
Huh? Doesn't seem...
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just naturally if you require a greater challenge.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any...
By royal decree! Stand clear! Absorption test! Dumpy dumpy go! Dumpy dumpy go! Animal hypostasis simulation! Wings of darkness! Come, sever night from... Sacred name, fortune preserver. By royal decree! Go.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Absorption test. Animal test 6308. Yeah. I summon. Dumpy dumpy go. Go. Dumpy dumpy go. What is it delay?
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is that... Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test...
Internal flow? How do you test...
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that... If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness.
And in the abnormal?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason... yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a... It's a type of ore known as star silver. But unfortunately, not all of it is... I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any likely all going to plan. We should be able to begin concocting the
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like let's keep our eyes open. Go. Reveal thyself. Absorption test. Absorption test. Mark 2.
As you wish, Fräulein. Here, should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met in
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. A cryoregis vine, or even a whopper flower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationship, in that sense, things might get...
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that she did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world...
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time.
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Let's go somewhere cooler.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What's happening?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. This potion channels elemental power into the body, under normal circumstances. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. But of course, you're my assistant. By all sense and reason, in conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned...
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the... The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference. People are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of, for example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an eye of the storm. To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If...
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. You gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking... having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me. But starting with the premise of an elemental life...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the...
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory to all...
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a... what Paimon meant to say was... That's the...
Before we can proceed with our research, I need... If you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time.